What's going on, investors? Dexs here from Investments, and today I want to talk to you about the new Cardano sidechain, Milkomeda. And I want to provide somewhat of a tutorial on how to bridge funds over to Milkomeda and use some of the resources available. I plan on covering some of the currently available bridges, the faucets, how to add milk to your wallet.
He needs some milk!
As well as some tips. I'm presenting this info now because I'm also working on a video about the new project Referral, which is built on this new Cardano sidechain. That video should follow this one pretty quickly as I want to get that opportunity out to you and known ASAP. I'm going to put all the important links that I'm going to cover on here as well as timestamps in the description below. So obviously the first piece to cover here is what the heck is Milkomeda? Well, this is a newer sidechain that actually seeks to bring EVM capabilities to non-EVM chains. Their targeted network first off has been Cardano network with aspirations to increase to other networks as well. When I think of sidechains, first thing that pops up in my mind is Polygon, right? So Polygon being the sidechain to Ethereum. And in the Poly-ETH example, the value proposition that Poly is offering to ETH users is that transaction fees are so high on Ethereum that it's borderline unusable for smaller transactions. So Poly offers that scaling and higher transaction fees mitigation as its value proposition. In the case of Milkomeda, the value proposition that it is going to be providing is the allowance of Ethereum dApps on Cardano. So what this means is we're going to be able to port over so many already developed dApps to these blockchains and eventually other ones. Some of the big unlocks that this is going to provide is going to be things like DeFi apps that already exist, the possibility of ADA pegged stablecoins, bridges to other chains, and Dexs. This is also going to allow for Cardano holders to unlock so much additional value and functionality. Cardano has a huge fan base for many reasons, obviously. However, development on the network has really yet to explode like we've seen on many other networks. So now that we got a decent picture of what Milkomeda is, let's go over how to get involved and how to use it. So the main ways to getting started using Milkomeda depend on which coin you have originally to get started with. So I'm going to show you multiple ways here and provide links and kind of walk you through all this and which sites to use and also which sites are available. So the first way I'm going to cover is if you're using Cardano to transfer to Milkomeda. This is probably one of the easiest ways. And if that's a possibility for you, the way you're going to do this is using the Flint wallet. And this is a Chrome extension, much like the metamask wallet. And the Flint wallet was actually developed by the same team that created Milkomeda. So on this site, there is a user guide, and it is a great user guide. These are all videos that walk you exactly through how to set up a new wallet here. So I'm not going to walk you through that because these are a great resource to have. But I do want to highlight a couple things with this. Number one, if you're creating a new wallet, I always want to reiterate, save your seed phrase, preferably on paper copy and in a very secure location. Number two, this offers the opportunity to recover an existing wallet as opposed to creating a new wallet. What this means is that if you have a wallet that has Cardano, you can recover this wallet and you'll already have access to your Cardano. Personally, I like to keep things 100% separated, so I did not go that route. Instead, I chose to create a new wallet and send my Cardano to it. So for downloading this wallet, you're just going to click the download wallet, and there's going to be an install button for Chrome browser here. And like MetaMask, it is going to appear in your extensions, and you can see it there. And now I have my new wallet showing here. I had just transferred a couple dollars to test this out from an external exchange wallet to this address. So you can see I have $29 in ADA here. If you were recovering your wallet, you should see your ADA already in there and you wouldn't need to transfer your funds. So now this wallet is housing my Cardano, right? But this is not Milkomeda Cardano, right? So it needs to be wrapped. To do this, I'm going to need to set up my MetaMask wallet also, because this is a two-part thing. But really, you could use any EVM compatible wallet. So I'm going to assume you already have a MetaMask. And if not, I do have a video that I just released about setting up MetaMask for Milkomeda. So if you need to, go back, review that video, set up your MetaMask, because you're going to need it for this next step. I'm going to include a link to this page here, which is going to show you how to configure your Flint wallet, configure your MetaMask, and send ADA from Flint to MetaMask, all the things that we're covering here. So we've done this, we've configured, and we got funds into our Flint wallet. We've configured our MetaMask. Again, I have this link in the description and a video that I just released showing how to do this. And now we're going to wrap our ADA to get Milk ADA. So first thing I want to do is I want to get my address from my MetaMask wallet, because I'm going to be sending from Flint to MetaMask. So I'm going to copy this to my clipboard, and then I'm going to go over to Flint wallet. And I'm going to follow these steps here. So I'm going to hit send on my Flint wallet. And here's one thing you want to double check. You want to make sure this toggle switch is enabled to Milkomeda mode. And you can see I have my balance showing up here, 25 ADA, and I want to send it to my address there. And I'm going to send, let's go with 25 here. And you can see my network fee is 72 cents. And I do want to mention here that the transaction fees are obviously going to be a little higher than normal, because this really isn't a normal transaction. You're converting your ADA to Milk ADA. So you're essentially wrapping it with milk, which is an odd way to say what I'm doing, but I'm doing that and sending it to my MetaMask in the same transaction. So you can see here it's going to cost 72 cents. So let's hit continue. I also want to bring up the fact that these transactions are going to take about 5 minutes currently, because you again are wrapping your ADA and sending it all in the same transaction. So it takes a little more time to send it. So before we send it, asks you for your password, just to confirm that it's you. So let's send our money. Creating my transfer, transaction submitted, and that's going to be deducted from my holdings, and it should appear in my MetaMask. And there we go. We now have our 25 Milk ADA on the Milkomeda chain, ready to use. So now let's show you some other ways you could bridge funds over to the Milkomeda network. There's currently two main on-ramps to bridge to Milkomeda, from the input of Ethereum or an input of BSC, which is Binance Smart Chain. Personally, I am not transferring any Ethereum because I don't want to pay Ethereum gas fees, so I'm avoiding that at all costs. And also, if you do not have funds in either Ethereum or BSC form, don't worry, because you can also use other bridges or exchanges to get you there. For example, when I was transferring funds, most of mine I had were on Matic. And in order to get them to Milkomeda, I first had to use the Evo DeFi bridge, which is one I've used before to transfer between Polygon or Matic and Binance Smart Chain. So I say that because there's plenty of bridges available and swap exchanges that exist to connect wherever you're starting to wherever we want to go. So in the example I'm going to show you, we're going to bridge from BNB, Binance Smart Chain, to Milkomeda. And our first step is going to be opening Cbridge, the celer network. And you can see here is your BNB. So I'm going to open my MetaMask wallet, switch over to BNB chain, and I have my one BNB. And I'm going to start off small and just transfer 0.012 BNB to the Milkomeda network. And you can see it's going to be transferring 0.011873 BNB on the Milkomeda network. And I also want to bring up, while I'm here, there is a fee obviously associated with it. And with any bridging, there's always a longer transaction time. So this one says it's going to take 5 to 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and hit transfer, and then I'll explain what's going to happen on the back end. So this is going to show the amount I'm going to receive and the fee I'm going to pay, and an estimated time of 5 to 20 minutes. But then it'll also say you're going to receive 0.05 Milk ADA to pay gas fees on the Milkomeda Cardano network. So what this means is this is also acting as a faucet. So when I transfer tokens to the Milkomeda network, I will now have a little bit of Milk ADA in my account so that I can make some base transactions. So if I wanted to move things around or swap on a swap exchange, I'll have some ADA to pay for the gas fees. Faucets are very common. You'll find them for almost every network that you'll see. And basically what it is it's just going to give you a very small amount so you can do some transactions with it. So now this is pending and we will wait for our BNB on BNB chain to transfer to BNB on the Milkomeda network. Cool. So our BNB is now on the Milkomeda chain. So in other words, our funds are now in the Milkomeda chain's ecosystem. So what's next then? Well, you're probably going to need to swap your Milk BNB for other assets such as Milk ADA or even other stablecoins like Milk USDC. To do this, you can use swap exchanges like this one here, but I'll include a couple other Dexs in the description below. But what this is this is a swap exchange, much like you would use your Pancake Swap or your Quick Swap or your Uniswap. And you can trade your Milk tokens for other ones here. So for instance, let's find our BNB and swap it for ADA. And let's put the max amount that we have. And you can see this amount of BNB would equate to 5.94 Milk ADA. And I can go ahead and swap here, but there's a couple things I want to show you in case you are not familiar. One of the things you want to be cognizant of is this price impact here, right? So this price impact can be affected by a couple things like low liquidity for the pair that you're swapping between, or things like your position size that you're trying to take. So if I was trying to transact maybe like 100 BNB for ADA, this price impact might be very significant compared to something like 0.02 for 5.9 ADA. So you can see right now it's saying it's 0.05% price impact. And this site explains it as the difference between the market price and estimated price due to trade size. The higher this price impact is, the more you are going to leak money on the trade that you're making. So your goal should be to keep it as low as possible. Like I said, just something to be aware of. Sometimes it's unavoidable with some of the pairs that you're going to be trading. The more liquidity there is in a pair, so the more common it's used, the less of a price impact you're going to see. If I were to be swapping to something else that's not used as much, like maybe a WMT, I don't even know what that is, you can see my price impact goes up. There's probably less liquidity in that market. So let's go ahead and make this swap. And you can see there's a transaction fee involved with this. Sometimes if you're getting errors, one of the things you want to make sure too is your slippage tolerance. So a very low slippage tolerance will give you errors if there's not liquidity enough to do your trade. So you can adjust that as needed. I haven't run into that issue yet because I've just been swapping between pairs that have pretty decent liquidity here. And let's see if our transaction went through. Yes. So we now have 30 Milk ADA. Another tip is sometimes you can actually break your trade into smaller chunks, which will help with your price impact. So for instance, if I was transacting a lot of ADA to Binance or vice versa, if I had a big chunk I was trying to transact, if I broke it up into smaller trades, sometimes that will help your price impact from being so detrimental. So that's all I've got for you today. Just a brief tutorial overview on how to get onto Milkomeda and get going with that, how to get everything set up. I'm going to leave some links in the description to all the resources that we use, as well as some additional ones. So some additional Dexs and bridges that you could explore. I'll leave a link to the Flint wallet, as well as the step-by-step tutorial for getting the Flint wallet set up, as well as your metamask. That's all I got for you today. If you appreciated this content and you found it useful, feel free to use the currency of YouTube and give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Till next time, later.